I'm making this video knowing that it's going to be boring, redundant, and probably things that you already know. So if you don't think it's worth your time, then feel free to click off. But this video is for two kinds of people. The first being those who are just starting out their journey trying to build their offer. And the second is for those of you who have already built an offer, signed a couple clients, but feel discouraged because you hit a wall and you can't seem to get past it. Look, I would be lying if I said that luck doesn't play a factor in your success, because it absolutely does. But by the end of this video, I want you to understand that there's so much more in your control than you probably realize. So having said that, let's jump right into it. If you feel like scaling is hard, it's probably because you don't understand this. You're focusing entirely on the things that are out of your control. Things like the reply rates of your outbound messages, the famous algorithm, which is dictating the performance of your organic content, the market conditions, which are just like macro elements such as recessions and people's purchasing power and all that kind of stuff, your prospect's readiness to buy, because at the end of the day, guys, if you propose somebody the perfect offer at the wrong time in their life, whether it be too soon or right after they just signed with somebody else, or they may not be able to get the money to be able to pay you, or whatever the reason is, there's nothing you can really do about that. And you just have to be willing to accept that sometimes people can just say no for whatever reason they want. And the last thing is what your competitors are doing, because everybody has their own free will and your competitors are going to be doing whatever they want, whenever they want. So there's nothing you can do about it. The only thing you can do is adapt. And the issue is too many people are stuck in this mindset where they're worrying about all of the things that they can't control and they're neglecting the things that they can control. And I used to be like this as well. And I'm not making this video from the perspective of somebody who's making 100K a month. I'm not even halfway there yet, to be honest. So this video is as much for you as it is for me. And once we look at all of the things that are in your control, you'll realize that you can stack the odds in your favor if you do things right. So with starting with organic content, this is an obvious one, and it's very easy for people to just pinpoint the blame of the lack of performance on the algorithm. And ultimately, at the end of the day, you can't force somebody to watch a video, right? There's not much you can really do in terms of forcing somebody to hold their phone, watch the video, absorb it, and then take action on your CTA. But what you can do is you can change all the inputs that you put into the video to try to get the best result. So in the context of quality of your content, you can always adjust the captions in your posts. You can adjust the script quality, make the scripts better. You can do research to make sure you actually truly understand your ICP pain points so that you're actually making videos that are speaking to them directly rather than just random airballs which you're just throwing out there just hoping that one will land. Split testing winners, so understanding what formats, what hooks, what styles of video work for you, and then doubling down on what works are all things that are in your control. Even if the results that you're doubling down on aren't necessarily the bangers that you want them to be, they can still be meaningful data points that will improve you, whether it's a huge leap or just a small one to start. Then this one's a huge one. The energy that you bring when you're delivering your message in your videos. If your energy in your video is not enticing to get somebody to watch, let's say you're speaking in your videos like this, you're just saying like, hey guys, welcome to my video, and today I'm going to show you the top 3 tricks to do. Like, nobody's ever going to watch that because they find it boring. You have no charisma on camera, and this is something that is entirely in your control. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm terrible in front of camera myself. And actually, this is the second time I'm shooting this video today because the first time the recording failed on my end, so I have to redo this again. And I know how frustrating it is to be on camera. And the only way that you can get better is by being intentional about it, reviewing your old recordings and improving upon it every single time. And if you can master this, your ability to persuade people through content will make a huge difference in your business. And this is something that's entirely in your control. So you can't really blame anybody else for the energy that you have in your videos. The hook strength, of course, everybody loves talking about hooks. I don't really need to get into this that much, but are you doing your best with your hooks? Are you testing multiple hooks? Are you seeing what hooks are working for other people and then using them in your own videos? These are all things that you can do to increase your chances of success. And then over here, we have posting quantity. How many short form videos are you posting? Before recording this earlier, this is the second time I'm recording this, I saw Alex Hormozy made a post on his Instagram account talking about how he made 35,000 pieces of content last year. I don't remember if the number was 35,000 last year or 35,000 in his lifetime, but regardless, that number is huge. And if somebody as big as him is doing that much volume, it's a clear indication that you should be doing the same as well. This is not me trying to tell you or myself that we should be uploading 35,000 pieces of content a year, because that would probably cause you to burn out and you don't have access to the same resources that he does. But it is a strong indication that you should be uploading more and that you should be posting more. Because if we were to use the famous analogy of just shooting only one shot, the only chance you have of succeeding is if that one shot goes in. But if you shoot 100, you have 100 opportunities to make one land. And in business, oftentimes you only really need one pivotal moment in order to change the trajectory of everything. So volume is key, and this is 100% in your control. Same thing goes with long form. How many long form videos are you making? Are you testing multiple thumbnails? Are you rehashing them? Rehashing thumbnails is something that I spoke about in another video in the past, which you can see on my channel, but essentially just re-uploading new thumbnails every couple months to your old videos revives them in the algorithm and gets you a chance to get more views. This is something that is such low effort, but can bring so much result, and it's entirely in your control. All of this that we've just covered shows how much is in your control when it comes to organic content. And if you really wanted, I'm sure you could find even more things that you could be doing in terms of your inputs to increase your chances of success. And this shows that you could be doing so much more than you probably already are. So when we move over to paid ads, we obviously have the same content pillar as before, so I'm not gonna go over that because it's the same logic that applies for organic, but on a paid ads standpoint. But when you're looking at paid ads, the key is always to be split testing as much as you can, like testing multiple hooks, testing multiple formats, multiple audiences, because what are the chances that you just starting out or somebody who's hit a wall creates an ad that does so well that you don't have to create any other ads later on? Like, there's no way that even after testing 10 creatives, you're gonna be able to get the success that you're looking for. You have to keep making a bunch of them. And I understand that nobody has an infinite budget, so you can't just blow all your money on ads. But if you're smart about it and you actually split test things in the right way, where you're testing big things first, like different formats, different angles, and then going into the hooks and the formats later, you have all of this, which is literally in your control because you control how many people see it by the amount that you're spending with your ad spend. So this is something else that you have absolute control over, and you can even test, like I said, with the format, there's different formats as well. You can make it a story post on Instagram, you can make it videos that grow up on multiple platforms. You can even do picture ads, carousel ads, Google ads, YouTube ads. Like, there's so many different things that you can do, and all of this is, again, in your control, and this is from the paid ads standpoint. The third thing is your offer, and this is like the epitome of something that's in your control. There's no way, I would be extremely surprised if I see anybody making excuses about their offer being something that's out of their control, because it's your business, you're creating the offer. So you have to look at what your competitors are doing, see if they have some parts of their offer that's better than yours, and see if you can implement some of the things that they're doing into your own offer to make yours even more appealing and to be able to compete with your competition. You also have bonuses, which are extra things that you can give your clients as incentives for them to work with you. You can implement risk reversals and guarantees so that people feel more comfortable working with you. Again, you cannot force them to work with you, and it's out of your control whether they say yes or no. But you can do all these different things to increase the chances of them saying yes, right? Like, let's take a hypothetical where the chances of them saying yes with your current offer is 5%. And by adding all these things together, so let's just throw the testimonial and different pricing in there, it goes from 5 to 10%. You've just doubled your chances of somebody actually working with you without forcing them to do it, and by just simply working on your own offer. And moving on to outreach, in terms of things that are in your control, it's probably second to your offer, because when it comes to outreach, you're dictating how many messages you're sending a day if you're the one doing them manually. Or if you're automating it, you can choose how many messages are being sent out a day with your automation tool. So this output is entirely in your control. And within the total messages being sent, right, in terms of quantity, you have the amount of follow-ups you're doing, because in this day and age, if you're not following up with people, people are gonna ignore you. There's no way that somebody's gonna reply to your first message that you send them, because they're just bombarded with notifications and all this shit that's happening in their life every single day. There's no way that they're actually gonna take the time to reply to you in the beginning, unless you really capture their attention, which is something that you can do, which is in your control, right? You have the quality of your messages. Are they personalized and relevant to the person that you're speaking to? These are all things that you can do to increase your chances of them actually replying to you. You'll never be able to force them to, but if you stack these different things together, your chances have increased as well. And are you targeting them on multiple platforms? You can have an email account, which you definitely have. I'm sure you have an Instagram account. You can even make a LinkedIn account if you don't have one already, and follow up with them and message them on multiple platforms so that you're showing up on different platforms at different times of day, all with the same name and same profile picture. The person's gonna know who you are at some point in time. There's no way that they can avoid you forever. And the same thing goes with interacting with your ICP, right? If you go onto their Instagram account and you interact with their stories, you comment on their posts, you interact with their posts, you drop them a follow, and you do this over the course of time, and you're making content, and you're doing outbound, and you're interacting with their stuff, like I just said, they're going to eventually see you, and whether they work with you or not is not in your control, but you've made yourself impossible to ignore. You've positioned yourself in the best way possible with organic content, paid ads, and you're outbound and interacting with them. So now you've basically done every single thing that you could, and now it's just for them to be able to put the ball over the line and actually become a client of yours, because you've put your best foot forward and that's it. And if you do this enough times, you're going to sign some clients for sure. There's no way that you can't. And the last thing that I have are systems. You can create systems to track KPIs and also standardize operating procedures. That's what SOPs are. By creating SOPs, you're able to streamline the process of you doing anything. This can be for content creation, this can be for outbound, this can be for your paid ads, whatever it may be. By creating an SOP, you're able to streamline the effort and the time that goes into something and get the same result, whether you're doing it or somebody else is doing it. And this is, again, entirely in your control. If you create a good SOP kit, you can remove yourself from the business in that aspect and focus on things that your team cannot focus on. Because if you're building a personal brand, you can't have your team film your content for you because you have to be in the content, right? So you have to be able to pass these things along, like outbound or dealing with sales calls and these kinds of things. So you can focus on the things that are unique to you, which make your business able to succeed. And creating tracking sheets to track KPIs is key, because then you're able to actually make decisions based off data that is unique to you, not some random YouTube video, not ChatGPT. These data points is a record of all the things that have worked for you in the past and not worked for you. And by looking at all the things that have worked for you, that is unique to you, your offer, your business, your clients, you're able to decide with certainty what you should be doing next. If clients respond extremely well to one specific thing that you're doing in your offer, or one piece of feedback that you've noticed a lot of people have been saying, throw that into your offer, throw that into your messaging, put that on your landing page, because clearly it's resonated with all your other clients and it's unique to you. It's not some random copy and paste tagline that you found off the internet. And you're probably gonna be able to see results from that really quickly. If we're looking at tracking outbound, of course, we have the main metrics like replies, positive replies, objections. You have like total quantity of emails sent, you have open rates, you have a bunch of other things, right? And with all of these data points that you're collecting with outbound, you're going to be able to find the best email copy that you have. And from there, you can split test different hooks or different versions of the best types of copy that you have, which will then increase your chances again to get more clients. And the most important thing is that this is unique to you and your offer. Then over here, we're tracking, of course, the content, right? We're tracking how many posts we're making, which ones are winning formats, which scripts work best, which visuals work best, which videos themselves got the most opt-ins, which people actually DM'd you, which ones were commenting based off your ManyChat CTA or whatever the CTA you're using. Tracking what gets you the best results is going to be the best way for you to be able to decide what kind of content you're going to be making in the future. And then eventually you'll reach a point where you're going to be able to predictably make a video and expect a certain result to come out of it, because you have all the previous data from the past to be able to make that decision. And also, by tracking data objectively, you're going to be able to rule out things that you thought were winners but actually weren't. Let's say you got a video to get like 1 million views, right? You get 50,000 likes, whatever the number may be, but you signed 0 clients from it. Whereas you have another video with only 2,000 views, but that gets you 5 clients, you're able to see black and white that that kind of video attracted less people overall, but it attracted a higher quality, higher demographic type of people that actually turned into clients. And then at that point, you decide whether you want to make videos that are chasing vanity metrics like views, or if you want to be making videos that are actually going to get you clients. But the only way that you're actually going to know is if you measure it. And of course, you can kind of just eyeball it based off what people say and kind of what you see. But if you actually track everything properly, then there is no ambiguity. The decisions are going to be relatively black and white for you to make with your proper tracking system set up. This honestly was something that I haven't done for a long time, and I've only started doing it now, and I can tell you that it makes a huge difference. I really wish that I was doing this before, because everything was kind of disorganized and I didn't really know what was what. But by tracking everything, and I'm creating tracking templates for myself to use internally and with my clients, whenever somebody asks me, what should I do next? I'll just say, hey, look, let's look at everything that's worked in the past, objectively, statistically, with numbers. Then we can easily decide what we're going to be doing next, because we have previous data that will help us dictate the future. And of course, just because something worked in the past doesn't mean it's just going to work every single time. Doesn't mean that we can just post the same kind of video every single time over and over and expecting it to work. But from there, it'll allow us to make the decisions and kind of just branch off, not too far, so we know that we're kind of staying close to the original idea that worked, but then also creating something new that is going to be fresh in our viewers' minds, or in the case of content, and actually work and get us more clients. This was a pretty long-winded, boring video, but that was kind of the point of it. I really wanted to show not only you, but myself, that there's so much that we can do in our control as a business owner that will help dictate your success. Because at the end of the day, if you get stuck in this rabbit hole like I was in the past, obsessing over things that you cannot actually control, like the things that we discussed before, reply rates, algorithm, market conditions, prospects' readiness to buy, you're just never going to be able to succeed, because you're overemphasizing worrying about this, while your competitors who are crushing it are focusing on all of their inputs and all the things that they can do every single day that will help them increase their chances of success. And that's pretty much it, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to drop a like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you want me to make any other topics revolving around scaling online offers, specifically around info, and I'll be happy to make it. So yeah, I hope to see you guys on the next one.